right into it. Just want to take time out to talk about a serious issue that's happening here in San Francisco, California, the Fillmore Western Edition. Safeway Supermarket announced January the 4th that within 60 days, they're leaving an area after 40 years in the Fillmore Western Edition. Now, this came to a surprise, a shock, blindside all of us who live in this area. And we didn't see this coming. Even the supervisor of our area, Dean Preston, explained to the media that his office learned about the Safeway plans to leave when everyone else, learned about it, which was January the 4th. So, since that particular announcement, we've been working in the community to somehow get Safeway to understand that without a community plan, a transitional plan as well, some type of mitigation, this will not be pretty. To pull out after 40 years in the area, the Fillmore Western Edition, remember, in this unique area was once a all black, majority black community that was uh, torn apart, for lack of better words, by the San Francisco Redevelopment Agency and the Urban Renewal Project. So we're all like baffled on why would Safeway just pull out without any community meetings, any type of dialogue to how do we transition the community into a safer reality, because we don't want our area to become a food desert, food insecurity. However, when you pull the big supermarket out of an area that's so dependent on this store, this will have a ripple effect. So I just wanted to take time out to just kind of like, talk about that, but also talk about the reality in these type of communities, in particular black communities. We need to open our own grocery stores, our own independent grocery stores for the future. I will be working with a few others to create a blueprint, a co-op blueprint similar to Rainbow Groceries for the black community. And I will be asking you, regardless of what happened to Safeway in the future, I will be asking you to support that idea, support that vision, whatever nickels and dimes, because we no longer can depend, as you can see, on outside corporations whose bottom line is the dollar profit, their stock, and the people just have to suffer the way they look at it. It's all about numbers, right? Like in sports and football or basketball, it's about X's and O's. Well, this is what Safeway is saying to us. Now, I just recently watched a video of a young black man in Detroit that created the neighborhood grocery store. It took him 6 years, but he actually put his money together and got some investors and created the neighborhood grocery store. You can look it up. Uh, it's a great idea for us and motivation to, you know, not just talk about it, but let's put this together. For Safeway leaving our area in the Fillmore area of San Francisco, we created immediately a petition, and you can go to change.org and sign the petition. We will be submitting this petition to our board of supervisors and mayor, as well as Safeway, before the target date, which is March 4th, less than 2 months, according to them, of leaving and closing the store for good in the neighborhood. Let me see. The other part of this is that so we have scheduled and come together with community leaders and organizations and collaborated with Japantown organizations as well as others because this is a store that not only serves the black community, it serves the Japanese community, it serves the Jewish nearby community, it serves all types of people in our community. It's a Safeway supermarket store. It's a major outlet. And it's very disappointing because me, I have personal uh, projects I've worked on to try to help Safeway over the years. Just a year ago, I sent me and a friend sent Safeway a proposal to help them deal with what they call the internal and public theft that's happening into this particular store that it's been a problem, an ongoing problem since the state of California have recently changed its law to make it harder to arrest people. And Safeway have a theft problem, like many of the retail stores here in San Francisco and throughout America. However, you know, no response. This was a 5-page proposal, and we laid out on how the community could create. We called it the neighborhood peacemakers, and this program would hire people from the neighborhood for us to literally police ourselves within this parking lot, which is adjacent to other nearby stores and merchants. And to us, it would have been a win-win because a lot of the people we would have been able to identify who's from the community and who's just actually coming to the community to take items and steal out of this Safeway supermarket. You would think if they was interested in stopping theft, they would have moved quickly and swiftly because they complain about we're losing so much money. Well, why not pay the community like myself who've been in the Fillmore area, people like myself, for years and years and years and decades that I know pretty much who's in the community and who's not from the community. It was just a win-win, but unfortunately, Safeway management, district manager, which I talked to briefly. He never returned my call. Sent emails to Safeway up in at their headquarters in Pleasanton. No response. So we want you to sign the petition. We want you to show up also on Tuesday, January the 23rd at 9 a.m. We will be having a rally in front of Safeway Interest in the parking lot at 1335 Webster Street. Let me say that again. That's Tuesday, January the 23rd at 9 a.m. in front of the Safeway Interest at 1335 Webster Street. And we need your support. Everybody needs to show up who can. Also, we will be marching down to City Hall at 2 p.m. on that day to give public comment and testimony at the Board of Supervisors meeting, which a resolution which was crafted by our supervisor, Dean Preston, and we will be asking the supervisors to support this resolution, which again, we want to call Safeway to the table and let's sit down intelligently and let's sit down as we can as neighbors and work this out, which is a win-win transition. We're not saying that, Safeway is a private corporation. We know that, and they can make a decision for themselves. We're not trying to say that we're taking their rights away from them, but we wanted this thing to be done in a way that it doesn't cause any harm to the seniors, elders, and all the people who depend on this store. So, in truth, is a way that you leave a community. I don't think in a more affluent community that Safeway would have just jumped up and bailed like they intended to bail in the Fillmore Western Edition. So it's highly unusual on the way that you close a business, especially a business of this magnitude, to just say we give you 90 days and we out of here. So that's what's happening. I just wanted to give like a little update, because I have to, my position is to inform the people. I have this podcast show, and of course, I talk on many issues. And a lot of times, this is somewhat, unorthodox or awkward, in a sense that, this is not necessarily something that covers a topic that I usually would talk about as a podcast episode. However, this is so important because we're talking about food injustice. And when you're talking about food injustice, and when you talk about people literally have to now travel to get food, it's so important. We cannot let our platforms become just a place where we talk about things that makes us feel comfortable, make us feel good. We need to talk about the issues and the things that sometimes that makes us feel uncomfortable, because these are real issues in real time. So I just wanted to get this update, and I wanted to put this out there too. And even other adjacent communities and throughout the nation, let's create co-op grocery stores, our own grocery stores. Your grocery stores for this community, your grocery stores for that community. Let's create a better situation that we don't have to depend on these types of supermarkets. We have plenty of examples. We have an Indian grocery store that's only maybe 75 feet away from Safeway. We have a Korean grocery store around on a corridor of Fillmore Street. And then we also have an Ethiopian grocery store down the street. So we got plenty examples of you can create your own grocery store, because look where we're at now. We're dependent, and now we're literally at the mercy of Safeway, which and I know could care less about what happens to the community. It's been proven over and over again. Not just the racial profiling, not just the overreacting to the loss prevention, the theft of the stores, but Safeway has never really actually been interested in being a good corporate neighbor. And worse than all of to the point of our Safeway was given this land under Dianne Feinstein administration back in the early 1980s. This was redevelopment land. This was land that was formerly land that you had Black Victorians, back businesses like Booker T. Washington Hotel. So the history speaks volumes to now. Here we go again. Black people, the community is being harmed by a corporation, and even some in our city administration currently is going along with it. So be there if you can. Again, Tuesday, January 23rd, 9 a.m. in front of the entrance of Safeway Supermarket at 1335 Webster. And then come along with us as we go to the Board of Supervisors meeting in room 250, the board chamber, to give our testimony and urge the Board of Supervisors to call Safeway to recognize and work with the community on a real plan that will not harm the community in a way that we all, again, would not like to see. It's a shame. Food injustice in progress in San Francisco. Thank you.